Okay, good people. Once again, you got the grumpy old nerds in your ear. As always, I'm your Uncle John, your elder who knows way too much about comic books, TV, movies, games, and so on and so forth. Because, hey, I'm old and I ain't got shit else to do. And some other people who don't have shit else to do are these people right over here.
Not a damn thing.
Starting at the top, filling in for super producer Mel is Uncle Roy. What's good, doctor?
Hello there, good people. It's been a minute.
He's always got that Jimmy Walker greeting waiting for you. Next is a friend of the show, Uncle Tony. What's good, sir?
How you guys doing today?
And next up, coming live, straight and direct from the booty chair, Uncle Percy. Hi, Uncle Percy.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, he's excited about the content today. He's ready to go. Usually he just grunts at us. And clearly, having finished whatever she was doing to Frosty back there, Auntie Nicole. Hi, Auntie Nicole.
I was going once again say hola, but hey, what's up, y'all? Let me keep the Spanish out of it. Anyway.
Yeah, you be careful. Ice will come knocking at your door.
There we go.
And then finally at the bottom is Uncle Rod. Hi, Uncle Rod.
Was good.
All right. So, as promised last week, Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Now, again, I am not the biggest Star Trek fan, but I find that this show is at least a good gateway into some of the.
Uncle Tony is apparently.
This show, I'm sorry, I got distracted. This show is definitely a gateway into the lore and the world of Star Trek. Last week's episode, Sam, or what was the name of last week? Was it Sam? Right?
Yeah.
I found it to be, especially someone who doesn't know hell of a lot about Star Trek, I found it to be entertaining and I enjoyed it. And again, I have to preface this by saying, in this genre, if I see black people, I'm probably gonna like it, unless it's just absolute trash, because I like to see us in outer space, and I like to see us in swashbuckling adventures and so on and so forth. But anyway, in this episode, the character of Sam was trying to do some research on the Federation officer Benjamin Sisko. Now, I, again, don't know a whole hell of a lot about Benjamin Sisko or Deep Space Nine, but I had read somewhere, and my colleagues had confirmed that this is a giant love letter to the Star Trek series Deep Space Nine. So I think I'm going to step aside and let the experts speak on this particular subject. Other than the fact that I liked it, I just, was kind of just hanging out and enjoying it. So please, Uncle Percy, regale us in your feelings and thoughts on the episode Sam from Starfleet.
I loved it. Oh!
Hey, real quick before you get started.
All right.
Before you get started,
Almighty,
I just want to let Uncle John know his name is the Sisko. You have to put name and respect on his name. It's the Sisko. He is
like
the
I said, okay.
emissary.
Exactly. Like I said, Benjamin Sisko. Please continue with what you were saying.
Not that one, Nicole.
Excuse me.
So go ahead, Tony. So what are your thoughts on that episode?
Like I said, as a Star Trek fan, I've seen all of the series, including all the animations. I could definitely say that episode 5 of Starfleet Academy was a true love letter to Deep Space Nine, and especially to the actor Avery Brooks as his portrayal of the Sisko, Benjamin Sisko, the demigod. And the fact and stuff that, Sirach Lofton was able to come back and play his part as Jake Sisko just was gravy to the whole thing. And that, Tawny Newton was a writer on this, and she pushed for this episode to be done.
Wow, I didn't know that.
As a love letter.
I did not know that.
I'd read that too. Uncle Roy, you're a Star Trek fan. What were your impressions?
Man, that was I'm just like Percy and Tony, man. It was great. It was it was amazing to see. So the plot of it is, for those that don't know, the character Sam is actually a holographic. She's a photonic. She's the next generation of the Doctor from from Voyager.
Voyager. Yeah.
Came in, and so the photonics after the burn, of course, just like everybody else, have been separated, and they don't know if they can trust humans. So they sent her as an emissary. That's literally her title, was the emissary for them at Starfleet Academy to see if they can trust humans. So she decides, okay, well, the best way to figure it out is go find out somebody who was the emissary before me. And goes in and gets Tawny Newsom's character, which it blew me away at the end. I was like, oh snap, they brought Dax in. I was just like, yeah, because
spoilers, man. That's a big spoiler.
that's a week, Tony.
That's a week ago.
We live, Tony. If you haven't recognized it yet, we live in spoiler land. So
Yeah, no, that was a week ago. That's out. The new episode is out. If they ain't watched it, that's on them. But I mean, it was a great thing about his story and to Avery Brooks and just everything that he brought to Star Trek. And I think a lot of fringe people came into and really got deeper into Star Trek because of him. Had the same feeling that John had. You see a black captain, like that changes the game. And then, of course, what they took his character to become was just amazing. And I thought that they did a great job at doing that. And I know, beforehand, I heard Percy say something, and it's funny because I absolutely believe this. I was talking to somebody about it earlier in the week, that Discovery, to me, by far has, I don't care what anybody says. I mean, I was a Next Generation guy. I was a Deep Space Nine guy. Discovery is the best show in the Star Trek lore that they have. And I think because of that, because of the fact that they weren't confined with all of the details, but they were able to take certain aspects of the original stuff and all the other shows and bring them in and tie them into the show, but it kept its own legs. Like, to me, this is the only way that you get new Star Wars. As I think about it now and think about what they're doing with like Starfleet Academy, it's the only way that you get stuff that's really meaningful and that you can really, and I hate to say the word believable because it's science fiction, but it's for those who are into it, because I mean, everything else, we don't need to know what happened them 900 years up to the burn or 700 years, whatever it was. At this point, we don't care because they've given you a solid story on something that we never really saw in the first ones, and that's actually the rebuilding and the building of the Federation. Like, because the Federation just kind of happened in all of the original shows.
Mm-hmm.
It was just always there. But
Mm-hmm.
this is that whole getting people to get back engaged and everything is real crazy. And if y'all get into it, or at least I'd like to get a couple of opinions on what y'all felt about the Klingon thing, because I saw a whole bunch of different thought processes on the Klingon episode from a week ago.
You are in the minority.
You're in the minority.
You're in the minority. Okay, so let's Rod, go ahead, because I know you're a Trek fan too. Before we start diving deeper into it, what were your opinions?
I
on
like
that
Trek, but I'm not deep into it.
Oh, okay.
I'm more of a Star Wars guy. But what I've seen from this show, from what I've seen of this show, they try to do justice to what came before it, and I think that's very important.
Mm-hmm.
The way they have things set up, in that they have to have stuff happening hundreds of years after anything else happens, I guess is kind of their way of kind of setting itself apart from everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree with what you said earlier about not needing to know what happened beforehand, because there's a lot of stuff, and the way Star Trek is set up, you're always going to have to know at least a little bit about what happened before the time that you're dealing with right now, because
No, I
there are
didn't say
people who
not
have.
needing to know.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I said I didn't say not needing to know. I said
But like you're saying,
it stands alone, but they always do callbacks.
right?
So you're
But
right, and that's
if
the
people
great
don't know
part
what the
of
hell happened beforehand, it's not a callback. They don't know they don't know what you're referring back to. You see what I'm saying?
it. Okay.
So
Spicy.
yeah, so if you have that knowledge that what happened beforehand, like I would be really interested to know how Starfleet got started. Well, I would like
Well,
to know
they try
what I
They
really
covered
like
that
to
in
know.
Enterprise.
Right,
right. They
right.
tried with Enterprise,
That's
but
what I figured.
It
it
didn't take.
didn't it
It
didn't
didn't
take.
take. Yep.
I want to know how they were able to get faster than light travel. How they able to get that technology. That's what I want to know.
You got to
Wasn't
watch.
that in First
Question
Contact?
Pooh.
Yeah, that was in First Contact. That was the
First
movie.
Contact. Yeah.
Woo! Look at me.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Good
was a.
job, John. See, I missed that one.
See,
Okay.
Rod, and so that's what I'm saying. Though it's like like what you're saying. That's why I said those were issues that were never discussed in the beginning in the first couple of movies. I mean, in any of the original stuff, we know
Okay.
how we knew Zefram Cochrane created warp drive on Earth, but everybody else had it, and then
Right.
the
Everybody
Federation,
else mean other like alien
other
races.
alien races, and
Okay.
not everybody, but
All right.
other alien races, and then like when we meet the Vulcans for the first time officially, it's that situation. It's just like, okay, we go from meeting the Vulcans to bam, they go to Federation. And
Right.
it's all these different places. That's why I was like, that's why I really like this about Starfleet Academy.
Okay.
Because you're actually having to build the Federation back up to what it used to be.
Okay.
And
So
to
that's where
become
Mass
from.
Effect stole it from.
Yeah.
Okay. Got you.
See,
So,
go ahead. Go ahead.
so I just want to say, Rod, you're right to a point where you're saying that you have to know the past. You have to know the past to know the future. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And because of Star Trek, and like Roy is saying, is that yeah, when it first came out in 1960, the Federation was already in place. You had this captain. It was doing the first 5 years exploring, and
Right.
this is supposed to take place. This is supposed to take place really after First Contact. After they worked with the Vulcans, they developed a spaceship, and they out blah 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 blah. And then of course, you go to the next, and then you like you said, next 100 years. Now you got next generation popping up, and now they're moving forward, and then in between you have Voyager, and then somebody said, wait a minute, let's go back to yeah, when we kind of it was so-called building the Federation. We'll pull out Enterprise, which is like we said, it didn't catch on because they really didn't. They was meeting certain aliens and stuff, but it really didn't.
Right.
It really didn't take off. And then
Okay.
of course you had Discover. Then you had Discovery, and then of course they go way back before even Star Trek to bring out. Um, damn, I can't think of it now. Who was the first captain? Come on now, help me.
Mike.
Oh, Brave New Worlds.
Yeah.
No, Archer was
Well,
Archer. No.
well,
Archer was the first Enterprise. It was the first
right.
warp
Archer,
capable ship.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Archer was the first, but when you talk about Star Trek from 1960, Pike was the first.
Pike.
No,
Pike was the original captain in the original Star Trek
Right.
too.
Right.
The first
But
season, Pike was the captain in the first season.
right. So that's
I
where they
was
went
the
back.
captain in the. Oh God, I forgot the name of it. The pilot.
The original.
Right, the pilot.
He was the captain in the pilot, which actually got rejected.
Right.
All right.
I thought he
So-
was the whole first season.
No.
No. He was
Okay.
only. It was one episode, and it was
just the
rejected.
Meanwhile,
Because
Nicole
remember,
and I
Nurse
just here looking
Chapel
at each other.
was second in command
Right.
on Pike's ship. So she went from being second in command, number one, to a nurse later on.
Right.
Now you know the funny thing though. Then that means if he was the captain, that episode that they actually did the callback to in Strange New Worlds, with was it Strange New Worlds? No, it was Discovery. It was the Discovery episode when they went back and did the callback episode to the people on that planet.
Right.
The aliens. I forget what the name of the aliens were, but when they finally found Spock had to go
The Elotians.
the Elotion, right? She had to take him. When they had to take him to the Elotions and stuff. So that's a trip to me. Yeah, I didn't realize that Pike. I thought for some reason I thought Pike was the. I thought Pike was the captain the whole first season. So
Because even in this show, Pike knows something's going to happen to him, and that's supposed
no,
to
he
lead
knows he
up to
dies.
right.
He knows he
Well,
dies. Yeah.
he knows he dies, but it's supposed to this show's supposed to lead up to supposedly a new Star Trek, but we ain't gonna go there about that. I think that's gonna be some bullshit. But anyway, moving on.
So as much as I love to hear the discourse between these grown black men about Star Trek, I'd like to
we got
dive.
more.
I know
we sure
you do. That's why I'm stepping in. So, this episode is saying. So the episode with Sam as the main character, and it's the young black girl who plays this character. I wanted to ask you all about some of the discussions that I've read in social media because I'm on social media way too fucking much, and it was surprising to me how many people did not like this episode, or some people did not like the character of Sam because they felt that she was over the top. And as many people as I read who liked this episode for because let's be honest, it was mushy. And at the end of the episode, and I'll probably have to fight one of y'all about this, they really didn't solve anything. There was no conclusion. It was just like, you know what? We love Cisco. Fuck it. Let's keep going. Let's go. Goodbye.
Roy.
Yeah.
Do you have that statement that you put
look,
up saying
Percy, let me finish. Let me finish.
no. Roy, you
No.
put up the statement saying the views from Percy
No.
do
let
not
me say this.
reflect grumpy old nerds because
let me
he's about to fuck up John in about 2 minutes. Go ahead,
let
John.
me say this.
Go ahead.
The episode
ahead.
was, in terms of a love letter to Cisco, it was really nice and it was really sweet. But there was really no conclusion. I mean, we don't know where Cisco is. We don't know if he's a prophet or if he's sitting somewhere chilling in the cave watching TV or if he's actually dead. But I'm not taking away anything from the emotional value of the episode before you get your drawers all knotted up. But what I'm saying is there were a lot of people online who were saying that Sam's character was way too over the top and that the episode didn't really come to a satisfying conclusion. And I'm giving you all, as fans of this, an opportunity to address those particular issues that some people had. And these were fans of Star Trek. And
Then we had this conversation. Then we had this conversation last week to tell people to fuck off. If you don't like the goddamn show, fuck you. Didn't we say that too? Didn't we say that a couple of weeks ago?
No, these are people who enjoy Star Trek.
I'm saying again,
like this episode.
And I'm saying again, fuck you.
Okay.
Okay, so now that you've put that disclaimer out there, can you say
the fuck out of us?
Right. Can you explain how their opinions are not based on the reality?
Because you gotta understand, because they don't understand the character. That has been the number one issue where all these people complain about these characters. She's 17 fucking years old.
And Percy, hold on. And actually, she's not 17 years. That's the point I was going to start off with. What people have to realize with her character, again, the show wasn't about Cisco. It was a love letter to Cisco, but it was about her figuring out how she fits in this space and what she needs to do. In real time, this character was 4 weeks old when they sent her to Starfleet Academy. She's a child, in essence, trying to figure out because her people are looking for her to be their future and to be able to build their future. And what she's telling them, because they are the photonic people, it did have a conclusion. The conclusion was that she's like, I have to grow. I'm not going to be able to come here, spend a week with organics, and then tell you every damn thing there is to know about them. Because their emotions change just like our feelings and emotions change. They fear, they do all the same stuff that we do, but it's magnified because they don't have the knowledge and the abilities that they have. So that's the thing that people were missing when they didn't like the thing, because they were looking for, they really thought that they was going to tell you what the hell happened to the Cisco. No, they not. That's why they call it the biggest damn mystery in Starfleet. With what happened, they are going to milk that shit forever.
They'll never tell you what happened.
They'll never tell you what
because
happened.
she said in the episode, I failed, and then Dax turned around and said, "Yeah, you did, but you didn't."
Right.
And then she gave the book, and it kind of explained a lot of stuff. She read it, but she didn't. But they didn't go into it of what was actually in the book. But Dax was basically saying everything you need to know is in this book, and she speed read it, and then that's when the son showed up, and that's when everything went to a whole different level where he's basically saying, you in the same boat just like my father was, but you're gonna get through it through time and patience and blah 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 blah. And then of course at the end she's talking to the sky like she's talking to Cisco, and she kept saying, if you need to talk to somebody,
come holler at me.
Come holler at me. So yeah, it was a love letter, but like Roy said, it was really about her, and that's the whole point with these past 4 episodes, because it was one about, of course, the first one was about old boy, the second one was about
the betas,
right, right, the betas coming in. The third one's about the one was about the Vulcan, which I guess we're gonna talk about that next, and so on and so on and so on. It's just they're trying to explain each character in a particular way, and I think it's good. I think it's great. I just think certain people who like to say that this show sucks need to suck my balls and move on. That's all I want to say.
Well, listen, one of the main things, John, one of the main things that we've been dealing with for years with this, and we know it's a minority of people, when you get these fanboys who all they want to see is everybody white or the dominant people being white. Whenever you create diversity in this, they have an issue. But like I saw a post that was talking about it. They're like, if you ever watch Star Trek from the beginning, it was always, quote unquote, as the bad word nowadays, being woke. It was always politically incorrect. It was always about pushing the envelope of how people deal with each other. Mm-hmm. So
he did it on purpose.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Roddenberry did it on purpose.
So I'm going to read a quote from one of my posts online from someone you and I both know, Percy. So, you keep telling me to fuck me. I didn't do this.
I mean, does the first letter start? Please tell me the first letter starts with a D.
No.
All right. Can I say something before you go there real quick?
Go ahead.
All right. I want to point out a little bit calmer, All right. All right. First of all, Roy, you're wrong. Discovery is nowhere near the best Star Trek. Okay.
I don't care what y'all say. Y'all just on your own then.
All right. This did have a solution. What Sam learned in the episode is that she doesn't have to follow the rules of her creators. Just like Cisco didn't have to follow the rules of her creators. When she was talking to her creators, she told them what the deal was. And then they tried to countermand her, and she hung up the phone. Okay. That was the solution. She's like, this is what I need to do. This is why I need to do it. And they were like, well, we don't click.
Just like most 17-year-olds would probably do.
Exactly.
Right.
All right. So, and as far as what happened to the Cisco, we heard the Cisco speak, and we saw the Cisco in the clouds.
Right.
So now we know what happened to the Cisco. He is still there, and he is living with the Celestials.
Okay.
And the reason that we won't get another answer about the Cisco is that Avery Brooks is pretty much retired, and no one can convince him, even Sirach can't convince him to come back and do anything with Star Trek.
I will say this. I've always had a certain sore spot about this, and the fact that in all these conventions and whenever they talk about Star Trek and the captains, that he's not held in a little bit more reverence. I didn't know that he was like retired. I thought
Yeah.
I was sitting there like waiting for the end for him to do something and magically appear and be like, "Hey, little girl, don't worry, I'm still here," and then fall back away. But when Avery Brooks is such a commanding presence, and I guess when he says he retired, he's like, "Hey, fuck all y'all, I'm done." And to the point that he wouldn't even want to come back to this to say goodbye to the character. So
And according to Sirach, he was kept up to speed on everything that was going through this episode.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
Well, that's cool.
But
Yeah.
but I do want to read this quote from social media for at the risk of Uncle Percy blowing another gasket. And they're just talking about the character of Sam. She's too over the top. If they could tone her character down a notch, it would be fine. But she just seems too much and overacted. But having listened to you all explain the why she acts the way that she does, and because as we all know, there's going to be a character arc, so she has to come off absolutely unhinged to start with, so that she can end as a mature adult.
Well, and John, it's not even unhinged. What do you know about toddlers?
Right.
They're unhinged. I'm living with one right now, and she's unhinged. So
they are curious. They're curious about everything, right? It's like that's it. Everything is new to them, and that's what she's learning. Everything is new to her. Like when old boy, he was like, "You ain't never been drunk. Oh, give me your code."
Right. Right.
No, that's. I mean, I fully get that. But let's do this. I think we've milked everything from the teat of Starfleet Academy that we can from that particular episode. You Percy. What now? What else can you possibly be angry about?
Are you about to go to commercial or what?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't need to go to commercial, y'all. Y'all lead on with that. We'll be all right.
Okay. Well, the producer has spoken. Because I wanted to cleanse our palate so we could go ahead and talk about the next episode. Because again, anything that's got Percy this giddy, I say we ride this horse till the wheels fall off.
I ain't seen the new one, so I did want to ask. Well, so let me ask this question though, because I'm sure y'all talked about it. What did you guys think of the Klingon episode, and what do you think of Jada, the character? Because I've had a lot of people who feel some kind of way about a gay Klingon.
Okay. Oh shit.
Let me brace myself.
Here we go.
Here we go. All right, I'm ready.
Okay. You have to understand where he came from. He's been isolated all his fucking life. He don't know what's a man, what's a woman, what's right, what's wrong, what's up, what's down. He is just like Sam, learning what the hell is going on. He just don't know. He's feeling his way out. If he becomes gay, you know what? Because he's not the traditional Klingon any fucking way. We all know that. So let's just see how this develops.
All right,
we are talking about how you sound.
All right. First of all, the Klingons that we are used to seeing on Star Trek, because they're the ones that are interacting with the Federation, are Klingon warriors.
Yep.
Right.
All right, and Klingon warriors act a certain way.
Right.
All right. Now, they would not be a space-faring, planet without engineers, artists, philosophers, opera singers, everything else.
And
what we're used to seeing,
healers,
yes,
what he is. He's a healer. They call him.
All right.
Right.
The warriors, pump themselves up to be better than everybody else, but they wouldn't have anything to do or be warriors without the other Klingons.
Right.
So it's what we've been used to seeing on screen. But as I said, there had to be other intelligent, more mild-mannered Klingons out there for their society to have become the empire that it did.
So essentially, it takes all kinds to build an empire.
Right.
Okay, but I thought that the Klingons, and again, forgive me, and hopefully Uncle Percy won't cuss me out again. I thought the Klingons were a warrior race, and
They are.
and that this was pretty much like, so. What makes Jaden an outlier is because he's not particularly someone who has bloodlust or is
Bloodlust,
bloodthirsty.
right? Well, so one of the things I think the biggest issue that they have with it, because it is they are a warrior race, and they even talked about it before the episode came out, that they had some stories in the past about Klingon healers, or at least where Klingon healers were prevalent. And like he says, he yearns for a long life of healing and helping people, whereas the warriors, like Percy said, that we're used to seeing, or Tony said that we're used to seeing, they're like, it's this is a good day to die. That's their mantra in battle. That this is a good day to die. And so they were, they're going a different way with it. But the burn, I think, one of the things that they're saying, the burn impacted the Klingon world more than it did anywhere else. Like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it destroyed Kronos.
Right.
And
so
they were only they're like at this point there are only 8 Klingon houses left.
Right.
And at the beginning of Discovery, there were what, like 30 or so?
Because you got to remember, even because number one, she's half Klingon, half is she half Cardassian?
No. You're talking about the second in
number
command.
one. Right, she's half
Jim Hadar.
She's half Klingon.
She's half Klingon and half Jim Hadar.
I thought she was Klingon, half Jim Hadar. Because remember,
that's what he just said.
Yeah, because she sat him down and she sat him down to explain to him, I understand what you're going through because of who I am. And I should have sat down with you to help you help you down your path as a Klingon. And like you said, Roy, I think because of the burn, a lot of stuff had to happen to survive. So if a Klingon want to get together with a human or Klingon wants to get together with whoever the fuck they want to get with just to survive, then that's what they got to do. And I think that's where people don't understand about the whole what happened with the burn. Yeah. A lot of people had to scatter, and now they're trying to bring everybody back. And in fact, in that episode, of course, when even they was giving them a planet, and they kept saying, "You don't understand me. You don't understand our culture. You don't understand." And of course, it took the Vulcan, the gay Vulcan, or whatever you want to call him, to say, "Oh, I got a good solution." Like he didn't like. Wait, like for some reason he was not a warrior.
Who are you talking about? Oh, you're saying that
Jaden.
Okay. Yeah,
Jaden.
no.
Jaden
I'm trying to figure out who's the gay Vulcan you're referring to.
Well, y'all talk about whoever I'm talking about. He's with the guy at the bar and all that. He doesn't know. He's been isolated all his damn life. He doesn't know what's up, what's down, what's left, what's right. I think he's just curious, and if it becomes something, it just becomes something.
Well,
let's move on from that shit.
I don't think that, like I said, I just heard a lot of people. That's why I asked the question. I wanted to see what you guys thought about that, because it's one of those situations where it's not even necessarily, I don't think it's necessarily about him being gay. Firstly, I will agree with you. It's about trying to figure out what it is, because what he is now doing is he is the healer Klingon who is now up front. It was him who came up with the idea to say, this is how you get Klingons to accept what you're offering. You don't just give us something. We're warriors. We take it. Right. You don't just give me something. We got to take it. And he just and she said it, the number one said it to him. She was like, today you were the warrior in the right situation. You were the right warrior for the situation in the battle that we were in.
Right.
And he was able to get everybody to understand this is what we needed to do to be able to survive.
Also, she's gay too. The half Vulcan, half Jem'Hadar, because she has a Jet. The character played by Tig Notaro is her partner. So, I mean, the whole gay thing.
Okay.
I guess that may be something for the people who watch the show, but in the show, which tracks for the show, because as you all stated earlier, Gene Roddenberry, when he created this show, he created it to be all inclusive.
Mhm.
Right. I mean,
Well,
you've seen people in wheelchairs on this show. You've seen people wearing
Right.
glasses on this show. They are showing everybody. As somebody was making, they don't have Ozempic in the future. You see overweight people in the show. This show is all about inclusion.
you mean there are fat people on this show? How dare they?
So, hey, John. So T856. Here, I'm gonna put the quote up. But
Okay.
I think, and I don't know if they heard me when I was saying, the issue is Kronos got destroyed. That's why there were so few, and that's the only reason that they were on the verge of extinction, because the planet got destroyed. So
Right.
at some point, you're thinking that they had a bunch of warp ships around the planet that were, getting ready to go off. You never know. They might have been planning a raid to go jump some, and kill some folks and take over some
Right.
shit. And that's why they end up, like I said, there are literally only 8 houses left in this new thing.
But wait, so
Remember also
he
the
was
Vulcans and the Romulans have also were almost
Right.
wiped out earlier.
Right.
Right, but
So-
they came together. Remember, they came back together. They actually went ahead and
Was
rejoined each other.
another point about this show is that Romulans are apparently a very bad influence on Vulcans.
Well, I think that was always the case. In
If
the
you've
Damn
been
it.
watching the war school, it's like, yes, that Romulan is a very bad influence on that
Right.
Vulcan.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, that's always been the case, because that's the difference in the two sects. When they broke off, the Romulans were the ones who, like, emotion. How I feel about it. You stepped on my toe, I'm kicking your ass. But the Vulcans were always the more subdued, logical ones, even though they were sneaky as hell. Because when you look at when you look at Enterprise and you see how they was doing the Andorians, you'd be like,
Right.
wow, y'all ain't no good.
So just
Self-righteous asses.
oh my.
Yeah.
So just out of curiosity, between Roy, Tony, and Percy, where are you? This is clearly way too early to really tell, but fuck it, I'm gonna ask. Where do you place this series in the Star Trek lore? Is this you all like it? Yes, but like, are you digging it more so than are you liking it more than you originally thought? Where would you put this in your listings? Is this top 5? Is this top 3? Like in all Trek series, where do you see this going?
I can't do that until the end of the first season. I have to see how
Fair
they
enough.
end the season, because it's like those are some of the things that they were able to do. I think with a lot of these shows, with a lot of the Star Trek shows, because it's a complete story.
Okay.
I got to
Yeah.
see the rest of the story before I can say this was better. But like Voyager for me sucks. That's always going to be the bottom of the barrel.
Damn.
Can I say?
Well, let me say this. The best thing to come out of Voyager was 7 of 9. Holla at your boy Jerry Ryan. That was it.
Oh boy.
But you've already said that Discovery for you is the best Trek show.
I think it is. I honestly believe it is, just because of what it has done as a way to carry the franchise forward. And when you look at the season, like I think all of the seasons, all of the shows had like some down seasons where it was like, yeah, okay, this was a good season, whatever. All of hell, every season they try to save the damn universe and save everybody in it. And to the point where it's like, they have had epic battles and epic conflict in the stories. All of their seasons was about epic conflict. I think they did a good job on making, because think about it. How many ways can you look at destroying the damn universe?
And I got tired of that.
People got to start it.
Yeah.
Every season of Discovery was them saving the universe. Every single season.
But
I'm
Tony,
like, no.
Tony, wasn't it also about them grow? Because of course you got the redemption.
And then in the final
story.
season, I'm like, okay, I know there's a love story. We don't need every episode about this freaking love story. And do you know that we didn't even get a chance to actually know anything about the Discovery Bridge crew? these people were there for all these seasons, and we got no information about nobody. Matter of fact, the black guy disappeared and nobody even noticed.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that, Tony. I think some of the stuff we got it in the stories. You got the pieces like because they were all. If you think about it and go back, other than him, because I think he ended up disappearing once they got to the future. But if you go back, all of the other characters at some point,
That makes it better.
right? He did make it to the future. But all of the other characters that were on the bridge of Discovery at some point played an integral part in the salvation or the completion of their mission. You know, and you learned about and what it was in those compact pieces of the story is when you heard about their background. You know, like the one chick who got shot out of the half android chick. You know, we saw her whole life in that episode because she was trying to in the story, she's trying to save what she remembers of herself as control is taking over her. And knowing that was about it. So
you're proving my point. She got one episode.
But Tony, we learned everything. What else did you need to know about her?
Where's the interact? It's basically this show was like Burnham and whoever Burnham was talking to. That was the whole show.
So basically, Tony, what you're saying is basically was like the original Star Trek, where there really wasn't any interaction except the people on the bridge. It's basically the opposite. It's the people on the bridge was interactive, but everybody else around it was dying, especially all those all the red shirts and things like that. So it's I think it's kind of reverse.
On this, we didn't even get to meet the bridge crew. Basically,
right? That's what I'm saying.
Got to do nothing. Burnham and her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Burnham and her boyfriend did everything.
Right.
You got the tall, skinny guy.
Saru.
Why you keep showing
I love the way he walks.
No, he's want to talk about how he walks. Yeah. But yeah, hey, look, user 01Z3 said, you know, that hey, about black woman saving society.
Right.
But I mean, Tony, I don't know. Like I said, I get what you're saying because they could have done more, but I like the way that they integrated those people into the stories that they were telling, and they wrapped those individual episodes around those people. I mean, that's just me though. So you know, that's the way I liked it. I like the way that they did that.
So Tony, which one is your favorite, or can we guess?
Well, Deep Space Nine is my second. That was, but just so you know.
Okay. Yeah.
We talked about that.
Deep Space Nine is my first.
All
right. And as I said before, to me, every single Star Trek first season of all the shows sucked, except for Strange New Worlds. Yeah. Strange New Worlds, the first season was off the chain. I need to wait and see how Academy goes.
Right.
Okay.
All right, but for right now, Deep Space Nine is still number one. And to me, it didn't even get really good until Avery Brooks shaved his head and grew the goatee, and he got the ship and he pimped it out.
John, I don't know if you remember, we used to talk about that a whole lot because I'm like, Avery Brooks with hair, it doesn't work.
Ain't the lick. He got to be bald with a goatee in order for his whatever character he's playing. He has to be bald. Avery Brooks with hair looks like somebody's perverted uncle.
So yeah, like I said, I need to see more of Starfleet Academy, and I'm looking at this too. Is that I'm realizing this show is not written for me. Okay,
no, it's
I'm
not.
a 60-year-old man.
We need to talk about that.
Well, teens and 20s.
Well,
no,
by that same take though, I enjoy Prodigy, which is written for kids.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. They've done a good job of that. Because John, we used to talk about what we used to call those tweener shows.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the exact prototype of a tweener show. It's not high school. Starfleet Academy is basically college.
Yes.
But you're gonna have your genius because you're gonna have your younger 15, somebody 15 and up could be there because of whether it's their race, because of their just being super genius, intelligent, or whatever. Mm-hmm. So he's absolutely right. This is Smallville in space.
Yeah, it's definitely a young adult. It's leaning towards young adults.
That's
And
what
as
they're
an old
doing. Yeah.
man, if you happen to enjoy it, hey, good for you.
Oh, and another thing, I have a problem with it. All the guys are like 6'2" or taller, and all the women are like 5 feet. And
How you figure?
Yeah, they are.
they
The
are.
main characters
They're
are.
5 feet with no curves.
It's
Okay,
only
Including
two. Well,
including the captain.
they're like
So
no, 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 no,
size
no.
2 and size 1s.
Well, the
so
women thing. I'm talking about the guys though. The only two that are tall are Jaden and the main kid. I don't know why I can't remember his name.
I will say this while you're trying to think of that name, Roy. I will say this for a show that's all inclusive, all these motherfuckers are real pretty. Ain't
Yeah.
an ugly one, ain't an
It's a
ugly one,
teen
ain't
show.
an
They're
ugly
supposed to
short
be.
fat one to be found.
But John, that's why I said
closest they got-
Smallville.
the closest
Everybody
they
was
got-
attractive.
the closest they got is Sam, and she's still a little cutie pie. So I mean, it's not. If it was a true reflection, which it's not because it's a fucking sci-fi show. If it was a true reflection, everybody would have really bad skin, and half the time their hair would be in knots.
Oh, they
You know
got
what?
those characters.
I'm
They got
interested.
those characters there, but they're in the background.
Now I'm interested as to why the Kyonian isn't his blue self. Why is he wearing a human, basically a human mask?
He said in the first episode when he went out in space and all that stuff, he said because people were scared of him.
Did he say that? I remember him
Yeah.
telling the girl that he changed it
He
like, I don't
said
want you falling in love with me.
well that
I'm
was
like,
that
oh,
was that was the joke to her, but he was basically
Oh, okay.
he was saying that people was actually scared of him when they
Why
saw
would
him.
But when you look at Kyonians,
Yeah,
they
he had
don't look that vicious. They look.
No, freak me the fuck out. I'll say that. Percy,
It's a little weird.
who's
It's a little
who's
weird.
your favorite, Percy? Which one is your favorite?
It's the original one, and the reason why I say that because without that it would be nothing else. And the Star Trek, I mean, as a kid, watched it every goddamn day, you know, and the con and the gerbils and everything else, you know. Hey, if it wasn't for that,
Tribbles, dude. Tribbles.
I mean, I'm sorry, tribbles,
What do you call it?
Gerbils.
gerbils, the gerbils, the tribbles, you
Space
know.
gerbil. Triple.
Yeah, space gerbils.
Space gerbils.
You know,
Right.
without those episodes, we wouldn't have what we have now. You know,
Yeah.
even
I can go with that.
you know, even and this is what I was saying today, because I know Roy, you didn't see it. This show, because it has these Easter eggs from the past. And if you are a true Star Trek fan, you'll pick up on holy shit, they're talking about this. They're talking about that. They're talking about the other thing. And this latest episode goes back to a particular character.
I can't wait to see it now. Y'all got me excited.
Well, I was gonna end with this because we have literally managed to talk about this episode and this show.
Oh.
Hour.
Can I say this, John?
Sure, go ahead.
Can you put the camera on me real quick, Roy?
It is first.
He has
It's
it on
you're
you.
in the middle.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
You're in the main box, bro.
Okay. I just want to say that this show is it's better than Peacemaker.
Well, that's not hard.
I mean,
Okay.
I just wanted to mess with John real quick. That's all.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, fine. You can enjoy this all you want to. I'll still watch an episode of Peacemaker over this any day.
Oh, one quick thing before we get off a track. All right. Rod, Roy, Percy, I still feel, I know what you were saying about them skipping to the future, but I still need to know what happened after the Dominion War. The only Star Trek show that kept that storyline going was Lower Decks. All right, because we've got all these hybrids and everybody meeting together and all that kind of stuff. I want to continue the storyline from Deep Space Nine forward up until the bird.
Well, hold on now, because now you have a new characters in play, and I think if they do a second season, I think I think what you're talking about, Tony, is going to play in that part, and that's Dax. We know she's a professor. She already told Sam, "Hey, sign up for my class next year." So I'm assuming she's coming back.
Well, she wants
Tony,
to.
Tony
wants
would
to.
not confirm that.
Right.
Yeah.
She wants to come back, but
Right.
they pull you in. I mean, that was always the question as far as what happens after the Dominion War, because that's the furthest out that they ever took us with him leaving in the storyline. And so, yeah, what did happen? Actually no, didn't we get basically the conclusion that we know that they beat the Dominion because they had that disease
No,
and they
we
sent
know
them back?
we know they won the war, but what happened after that?
You're just saying, just in general, what was the fate up until the burn that caused everything? Because we've heard enough of the stories with the people from Discovery in this show that the Federation apparently lost its way because it started taking the individual planets away from being who they
Right.
were to be a part of the Federation. So yeah.
Man, I ain't got shit else to say. Y'all pretty much said it all. I was gonna ask
In
today's
this Star Trek
episode.
episode of Grumpy Old Nerds.
There you go. I was gonna ask you all today's episode. How does that rank? Is this a better episode than, because everyone universally seemed, on this show at least, universally seemed to like Sam. Is today's episode better than last week's episode?
This week's episode is Star Trek.
Right.
For
They're back on
everybody,
right. Right. They're back on track.
It's in the name. It's in the title.
Well, no,
no.
it's just these first
It's a
couple
throwback to
episodes.
previous types of shows.
Right. And basically that's what it is. They basically say, okay, let's introduce a couple of characters, let's do their background. Now you get into this episode focus on the captain more than anybody. Now they're talking about the captain and why she acts the way she acts.
Okay,
She's been
seems
around
a little
for
weird to
400
me.
years.
Right.
Well,
She's been around.
I
Right. She's been,
absolutely hate her character.
but you gotta understand. I'm telling you, Roy.
That's why I'm gonna watch it.
When you watch this
I hate her
episode,
character.
two things. When you watch this episode, two things is gonna come out. One is going to be one. They kind of explain why the captain acts the way she acts. That's one. But then it leads. Like Tony says, it goes back to Star Trek, and all the captain had to do is say one word, and it would have been a perfect episode, and it would have remind you of another Star Trek show. But
like
movie. I could say movie.
This episode is good. It's got action, and like I said, since it's not a week later, I'm not going to give any spoilers.
Right.
But the villain in this episode has me questioning whether or not Khan is my favorite Star Trek villain.
Exactly.
I mean, his character's been, even from the very beginning, his character has been, I mean, it's a special kind of ruthlessness. And then we find out he's actually kind of strong, too, when he was fighting old dude.
Right.
In the thing. So,
You've seen nothing yet, Roy.
Right.
You've seen nothing yet.
Well, you know what? I think a perfect line to end this on is when you see old boy fighting dude in the thing. I think that's where we'll end this episode. Uncle Tony, anything you want to leave us with on the way out the door?
It's been an hour. Goddamn.
An hour on track.
I know. First, you're not used to talking.
I was going to talk about some comic books. All right. DCKO number 4. Get it, read it. You'll be surprised what happens in it. Wonder Woman Annual number 1. It's got a very intense, dramatic story. If you like to read, it's a good book for you. I'll do a quick pitch in. The Atlanta Sci-Fi and Fantasy Expo. We had a staff meeting yesterday. We're planning 40-some vendor tables. I've only got 10 left. So if you want to get your table, go ahead and put in for it. We've got 3 panel rooms. We're about to start laying out who's going what panels. So if you want to do a panel, you need to get that information in right now. All right, so we can make sure that we got you scheduled in for a panel. And all you got to do is go to AtlantaSciFiExpo.com, and all the information for submitting for a panel or getting a table is right there on the website.
What are your dates again?
March 14th and 15th, 2026.
Okay, cool. Uncle Rod, anything?
Two things real quick. New show called The Beauty is on FX and Hulu, based on the Image comic of the same name, and it's basically people are dying to look beautiful, and of course there's a government conspiracy behind it. So I've watched the first 2 episodes. Good stuff. Check it out. The
Really?
Beauty.
Okay.
So,
I,
Uncle Rod, I'm gonna have to take your word for that. I'm kind of done with Ryan Murphy, but if you say it's good, maybe I should check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
Okay.
Second thing, because of Black History Month, I'm going to continue with the music theme. Rock bands that you never even heard of, but are pioneers in the field before many of these other people you consider. One group is called Bad Brains, all black guys, rock band,
Mm-hmm.
right? And also Fishbone is another one.
Yeah.
All right.
Been doing it for a long time.
Yes, sir. Oh, Fishbone been around forever. Uncle
Yep.
Percy.
I'm sorry, everybody, if I was cursing so fucking much tonight. You know, it's I apologize. I'll take back sucking my balls, you know, from it, but you know, I
Okay.
apologize.
You may continue to suck your balls, Uncle Percy. No one will mind. Auntie Nicole, you know what? You get to pick one of the subjects next week because we didn't hear shit from you today. So.
I was good. You're always very entertaining, but you wanted my
This ain't in your wheelhouse.
favorite. But yeah. I mean, if I was to think of a Star Trek that I like, it's going to be the original Star Trek with Captain Kirk. And I honestly liked Next Generation a bit. So, but that's just me.
Next
Oh,
Generation
well,
is number 3. That's dope. Well, number 2, it was Deep Space Nine. Next Generation has been my whole thing until Discovery came out. Those were the 2 dope ones.
This week's episode of Starfleet Academy has monsters in it.
Yep.
It has monsters in it. Pretty interesting monsters at that.
Yep.
And they eat people.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Uncle Roy, anything going on with the network you want to share?
Hey, listen, man. Like I said, just trying to get our mojo back, getting back to how we were back in the day. We're going to start doing a whole lot more promoting, like we used to before. You know, everybody got stuck in the house for the COVID, and you know, you weren't able to go anywhere, so all you had to do was get on the internet. And before that, when we used to have a couple of hundred folks tuning in to the show, we're going to get back to them days because we're going to start letting folks know to jump on out here and tune in. So we got some things coming. And Nerd Out will be coming soon. So y'all can get ready for that.
Is that a game show?
Yes, it is.
Thank you, Uncle Tony, for clarifying that. All right. Well, for
I still want to get some isekai in.
I got it ready.
All right.
For Uncle Roy, Auntie Nicole, Uncle Percy, Uncle Rod, Uncle Tony, and me, Uncle John, thank you for tuning in. This has been Grumpy Old Nerds. We're here every Thursday, kinda, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We talk about more than Star Trek, believe me, but, you know, you got to come back next week to really find that out. So, thanks again, and night-night.